Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending the Goucher Symposium and taking a look at my research. I hope that you are feeling well and that you and your families are doing well and that you are safe. Um, Let me talk about myself first. My name is Josephine McKinley. I'm a psychology major and I'm graduating this year. Woohoo! Um, So, the type of research that I conducted was qualitative research, and it involved teaching qualitative research methods in psychology to undergrad students. Um, I conducted this research with my partner Zainabu Najee and Dr. Grayman Simpson in the psychology department during the summer of 2019. Um, that occurred after my junior year. Um, so spring, I took qualitative research methods with Dr. Graham Simpson, and the class was difficult. I'm not even going to lie. The class was difficult, and anyone who has taken qualitative research methods understands that normally a lot of us operate from more of a quantitative research type of mindset, and qualitative is just a whole different type of beast to try to tame. Um, there's multiple types of revisions that need to be done. There's a lot of listening to qualitative interviews and then having to transcribe those interviews. And then when we did it on ourselves, which was a little bit harder, especially um, because as we're doing the research, we're also interpreting things and taking things in and kind of understanding what's going on as we're doing the process as well. Um, so that made it a little bit more difficult. And then the time frame made it a little bit difficult. So we put all of those things into our research poster, which we ended up presenting at a conference over the summer. And just to talk briefly about some of the things that the research poster talked about, um, we first wanted to make sure that like the course objectives identified that these skills that we learned in this class would be transferable because we go to a liberal arts school and we want to make sure that once um, the courses are over and you graduate, like you can actually take these skills and use them in the workforce. So we used experiential methods, interpretative phenomenological analysis, and qualitative research methods to talk about teaching it, and it is also what we learned in the class. Um, and then we have different qualitative quotes about our experiences during the class. The target goal for participants for taking this type of course would be third years or juniors, because usually at that point, you've had more than enough experience, you've had statistics, and you should be well on your way to figuring out whether this is like research in general is something that you might want to do or finding out like what types of research you may want to do. Um, the structure was problem-based learning, so we often solved problems. We did a lot of group work. Things were set up in workshop style, so we had to hold ourselves accountable. And then Dr. Graham Simpson was there, like if we needed help. And also she taught us different ways to move through like the data and things like that. And there was a lot of writing, so it was very intense writing. Um, there were also there was so much data collection. So there was 3 rounds of data collection and then 9 phases of data analysis. And thank God, like we had a group that we were working together with, and we got through the data that way. And then we ended up presenting this research information for a capstone during the spring as well. Um, so responses as far as like challenges and successes, which is something that educators would definitely want to know and something that would be relevant for students, is again like the time frame. This course definitely should be over 2 semesters because it's easier for the students and the professor to get through the material. There's just so much material and so many different ways that it could go. If it was over 2 semesters, then, you know, specific sets of skills could be focused on. And then like it would be the second half of that during the next semester. So they should be sequential semesters. Um, so there needs to be more of a growth mindset because, as I said before, if you're not used to learning this type of research, you can have a rather fixed mindset, and then that's what makes it difficult. Um, and then the successes were that we did a final presentation, and we ended up with a research report. Um, a lot of people got decent grades. And I think that had a lot to do with the group work that we did. We supported each other and made sure like we helped each other do the work. And then again, transferable skill set, and then just cohesive group dynamics. Like we couldn't do this without each other. I mentioned the response to challenges, but overall, I think from this, I was able to get an experience that I don't think that I would have gotten if I had not gone this route. Experiences and opportunities were just coming out galore. So during that summer of 2019, when we created this poster, we did it for attendance to the Society for Qualitative Inquiry Conference, also known as SQIP. And that was in Massachusetts. It was at Simmons University. And so for me, there were just a lot of firsts. So it was my first time on like a research team. It was my first time going to Massachusetts and Simmons University, which is a very good school for psychology. So it's very prestigious, and it was just it was nice scenery, and it was just really great to be there and be in that atmosphere. And then it was my first time presenting. So to be an undergrad and do that, people were really like taken aback. Their mind was blown. They were asking us all types of questions, as you can see from the pictures. We met people from all around the world. There was one doctor in particular from Israel, and she was very interested in our work. And people were very proud that like we were the only undergrads there. And they were just like, they couldn't imagine like how we were able to do that. And something I forgot to mention before is doing all of this stuff while juggling other classes was extremely difficult. So, you know, they asked questions about that. They were amazed that we got all this work done. And then what was mind blowing for me and an eye opener was just that for the first time, I had really been able to understand a lot of like the psychology terminology, like in applicable terms, like being able to use it at an actual conference, listening to people talk about their research, using critical thinking to challenge certain things and have just like professional discussions about it. So that was really interesting. But the most important takeaway I think I got from all of this was just my experience as a Black woman on a Black woman research team. Um, well, I guess I should say it was run by Black women. And it was just something that I never thought I would do, especially at Goucher. Because to be honest, it's a predominantly white school. And so I didn't even know that I would even be able to do research, because that wasn't necessarily something that I was even interested in at first. I didn't think that I was really capable of doing it. But as I went through this class and strengthened my skills and sharpened myself, um, Dr. Graham Simpson gave me the opportunity, and it was just amazing. I'm even using those skills now to go forward and do research, even after Goucher. I'm currently on a research team, and I'll be on that research team once I graduate, and I'll be using the skills that I learned from this class specifically, and then I did take quantitative research methods afterwards. But this class and learning these skills have set the foundation for what I believe is the rest of my psychology career. So thanks again for listening to me talk about my research. Thanks for attending the Goucher Symposium. I'm really glad we were able to present our information and our findings online at least. And again, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Thank you.